What's going on, everybody? It's Carlos, your host of the Just Fans podcast, and I'm joined here with the one and only Rios. How's it going, bud?
Pretty good. Best way to start a day, ice cold beer.
Ice cold beer. There you go. And of course, let's give a quick shout out to Already a Comment. You Up to Down podcast. Join. What's up? How's it going, guys? Thanks for tuning
Hello,
in.
guys.
Hey, man, we're gonna keep this short. We're gonna do a 30, probably less than 11:30. We're done this way that you guys can remember to update your fantasy players for today, and B, hey, man, just enjoy it. That's it.
Beer
Uh,
or beer run.
or beer, go for a beer run right before the game, right? All right, man. So we got the dreaded Tennessee Oilers versus
Ooh,
the
they're
Houston
they're
Texans
they're the
starting
Titans.
quarterback Case
They,
Keenum.
go
From
Cougs,
U of H,
baby.
baby. That's right. All right, Rios. Let's get into it really quick. First of all, the thing that I hate about this game is those damn Tennessee Oiler colors. How do you feel about it? As a Houstonian, I hate it. But go ahead, Rios. What you think?
Well, I grew up an Oilers fan, so it's a slap in the face seeing the team wear those colors and calling themselves the Oilers. Like, bro, y'all moved away for a reason. Call
I
yourselves the
remember.
Titans.
Yeah, I remember watching Warren Moon play at Nissan Stadium. I remember watching Earl
Right?
Campbell play at Nissan Stadium. I remember watching who else? Like the Love Your Blue era. I mean, I didn't because I'm not that old, but still.
Hey,
You did. Yeah.
I did.
No, yeah. No, I mean, my point being on that one, even though I'm joking around, is I don't know. To me, like, yes, legally, of course, they own the name. That can't be taken away unless they sell that thing. I just think as a representation of Love You Blue, that's Houston stuff, you know? I mean, and that's just my own opinion. I mean, everybody feels different about it, but I
Oh no,
mean,
it's fact. The
it's
state, our city flag is that shade of blue.
I
The old
mean,
cop cars, that shade
the
of
old
blue.
cop cars, yeah.
The old street signs were that shade of blue. Like that's Houston through and through.
It's Houston through and through. So it feels good to see another place like Tennessee tribute Houston. So thank you, appreciate it. No, but nonetheless, if we're being completely honest with you, as a Houstonian, I don't like it. It rubs you the wrong way, and I think this particular game itself, I honestly, I think if CJ Stroud was starting, I would feel a little bit more intense on this rivalry. But because CJ isn't uh, starting today, I don't. I'm just like, okay, let's just throw away this game, even though it has the intense, the type of game to not excuse me, not throw this game away, but like I don't feel as excited as I would to see like Siege, to for this game. I'm just like, all right, let's get through this game and let's come out with a win, so that obviously our odds to get into the playoffs obviously are a lot higher. But with CJ Stroud not being at the helm, how does that make you feel going into this game, Rios?
Not as confident, not gonna lie, but at the
All
same
right.
time, we beaten the Titans for years with quarterbacks like freaking Brock Osweiler, Hoyer the Destroyer, Ryan Fitzmagic. Like we've beaten them with, below tier quarterbacks. So, it's Tennessee. I'm not super worried about them because they're a beatable team. This isn't, the 72 Steelers. Like, this is a beatable team. They just have to basically execute the game plan very well. Bobby and D'Amico, they're going to have to call a near perfect game to make up for all the injuries we got on both sides of the ball right now.
And that's another thing why I'm like, I just want to get through this particular game just because the injuries, man. We don't have CJ. We don't have. I think Dalton Schultz is out today as well, right? Or is he
He's
playing today?
playing.
Oh, he's playing.
Yeah,
Okay, awesome. Well, Nico Collins isn't in, right? Will
he's out.
Anderson, Will Anderson, who has been, a great asset to us. One of the guys that gets to the quarterback or whatnot with pressure in the quarterback. He's also not in today, so that's going to be, we're going to be missing that on the defensive end. And I mean, we can't miss any more guys on the defense. I mean, our defense is already kind of scored up as it is. With last week, nobody showed up against the Jets. Nobody was there.
Nope.
You had guys missing assignments. You had Christian Harris looking lost. You got Denzel Perriman looking all over the place, like what's happening, letting guys pass him by. Our
They thought it was
secondary,
They thought it was flag football. That's why they stopped
yeah, they
tackling.
thought it was flag football. Then you got the secondary, who's giving up a mess load of points. Um, do you think DeAndre Hopkins has a career game today, knowing coming in, like it's against the Texans, playing in that Oiler uniform color? obviously trying to intensify that rivalry. Do you see DeAndre Hopkins having like a game of his life today? It happens, like a revenge game. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Normally, I'd say yes, but no. I'm gonna go no. I think they put Stingley on him and he locks him up.
You think Stingley locks DeAndre Hopkins up? Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Because if you can lock up Hopkins, that's their only real receiving threat. Because Burks, he's been inconsistent, so I'm not too concerned about him. And they're a tight end, Okonkwo. Our linebackers got their work cut out for him. But if you could slow down Hopkins and slow down King Henry,
well,
makes
the
the job
thing
a lot easier.
Yeah, the thing about the Texans, though, and to their credit, they're like top 10 in the run against the run. So they're honestly, the Derrick Henry didn't concern me as much. Although last week against I mean, don't get me wrong, this is not taking off any credit from Derrick Henry or whatnot, but one of the things that we have gotten right this season has been controlling the run, as opposed to last season, we were like 32nd, 31st in the league, depending on, on the game or whatnot.
I felt like we were 33rd in the league out of 32
34th,
teams.
we had like two teams above us from the XFL, but
and the USFL.
In the USFL, yeah. But no, honestly, obviously Derrick Henry is somebody you can't underestimate. And if we know if there's been a recurring pattern with this Texans team this season, has been the underestimating teams who don't seem like playoff caliber type teams. It happened to the Jets. We lost against the Jets horribly. We lost against Carolina. Yeah, we lost against Carolina. They're not a playoff team. We lost against the Falcons. They're not a playoff team. I mean, the list goes on of teams that we faced this season that we've lost, that the Texans have lost against, and that should have been wins, but they weren't because of, I feel like, underestimating the team that you're going against Sunday. The any given Sunday rule needs to be like applied to the Texans locker room the remainder of the games that we have left. I think you brought it up this week when we were doing a few shows. If I'm D'Amico, I'm posting that picture of Zach Wilson on everybody's locker to remind them of what an ass whooping they got.
Like, y'all did this. This is y'all's fault.
This is your fault. Yeah.
You guys should be, included in the picture.
Exactly. That's my sports. Are we ready for Davis Long Neck Mills today? We're not, because
he's not playing.
He's not playing. Case Keenum is playing today. So let's get to that point real quick, Rios. I'm glad that's my sports brought it up. Thank you guys for joining, by the way. Case Keenum and Davis Mills, for as Monday started, all the Davis Mills stands were super high on Davis Mills, my quarterback, whatever that thing, starting this week's game against the Tennessee Titans. And then we find out, was it last night or 2 nights ago? I can't remember.
No, it was Friday around midnight.
Friday around midnight.
Aaron Wilson tweeted out that Case Keenum's going to start.
Case Keenum starting. I feel like D'Amico saw Davis Mills at practice. He's like, "Oh, nah, we're not doing that." Case, get the clipboard back over here. We're putting on your helmet. Let's go.
How's your arm, Case? How's
that arm, Case? Can you still sling it here and there? And honestly, I think my personal reason why I think that's the case, no pun intended, it's probably because I think Case Keenum is more familiar with this type of system than Davis Mills is. And I think they're going with the experience over, the inexperience of Davis Mills in this particular type of system. Where do you think, Rios?
Not just that, big game experience also, because this game basically is going to determine if we make the playoffs or not. If we win today, we still have about a 60% chance of making the playoffs. If we lose, bro, it's like 20%. We're going to need a couple of Minnesota miracles to get into the playoffs if we lose today. So I think that's another reason they also roll with Keenum, is because he has that big game experience. Like he's taking a team to an NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
I know at the beginning of the week I had said they might go with Mills just because he has more recent playing experience, but big game experience, yeah, Keenum has it in spades compared to Davis Mills. And because it's one of those things, we've seen Mills in the crunch time. He gives the ball away, makes a critical error, and we just can't afford that this game.
Yeah, it's definitely
we're going to need a game manager this game.
Yeah, honestly, so I mean, there's a reason why, obviously, Case, why D'Amico and I guess the coaching staff saw a little bit more into Case Keenum, but yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Rios. Yeah, we do need more of a game manager on this one. Um, I think the Texans are going to come in, more motivated than last week because of that beatdown they suffered against the Jets. I feel like that's going to add a little bit more fuel to the fire or whatnot. But still, even with that, knowing the amount of injuries that we have out, excuse me, knowing the amount of injuries that we have coming into this game and the players that we have out, I mean, I just don't know how I feel about this game. I don't get me wrong. Obviously the fan in me says, "Oh, Texans going to drop the Titans," but that's what makes me a little bit weary because we have all these injuries that have piled up. How do you feel? Okay, so how do you feel going? I mean, going to this game. I know you said ESPN has us like winning what 50 something percent.
Yeah, so according to the ESPN matchup predictor, we have a 58.7% chance of winning, which is again bizarre to me because according to Vegas, they have the Titans as 3-point favorites.
Yeah,
And like when you predict us to lose, we win. When Vegas predicts us to lose, we win. So I'm gonna take this as good juju from the universe.
good juju from the universe. Okay, let's do that. Um, so at that point, where do you? So we talked about DeAndre Hopkins possibly having a game, but if Derek Stingley can lock him down, that's basically it, and you would basically have to worry about either their tight end and Derrick Henry. That's basically their main forms of offense, right?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the run defense holds up without Will Anderson because he's been one of the best at setting the edges this season. So I'm interested to see
No,
how they game plan that. And if D'Amico decides to blitz a little bit more, because as we've seen from the game film, when you blitz Will Levis, he turns to a different quarterback. That's
exactly.
when that's when the mistakes happen.
Getting the pressure to him, and points a good credit to D'Amico in that defense is we're pretty good at pressuring the quarterback as far as the sacks is concerned. I mean, you know, uh, it
We'd
is
like
it
to
is
see more, but
yeah,
yeah,
we'd
like I
love
said,
to
it
see
is
more,
what
of
it
course.
is.
But the quarterback pressures, they're definitely going to pressure Will Levis. Just like you said, I think once Will Levis is pressured, we do see, the inexperience come in or whatnot, and what you would expect from a rookie quarterback coming in. I think if he can't handle that pressure, it's going to be a lot to do with the defense today. Obviously, also defense is definitely should have a game on the line, and if they can pressure now, again, we're missing Will Levis, but if they can pressure we're missing Will Anderson, but if they can pressure Will Levis, just like they did with Russell Wilson, um, I think we're in it for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say that should be the game plan. The way they blitz Russell Wilson forced him into 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
Because
come on,
before then he had 0 in 5 games.
right? Russell Wilson came into the Texans game coming in with how do you
Eight
call it?
touchdowns,
Eight
0
touchdowns. Yeah,
exactly. But he
exactly.
was
And then he
basically
had
like
three
an
in that
elite
same
game
game.
manager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had three in that same game. Thanks to Derek Stingley. Sorry. So what's up? Chad Schrader says, "What's up, Rios?" There you
What's
go,
up,
Rios.
Chad?
Got it. Yeah. Thanks, Chad, for joining us. But yeah, dude. That's just how it is. Defense definitely has to step it up today. They should know exactly what the implications are, and I trust that Miko has a plan. For this game. I mean, how different is there are some similarities to the Texans and the Titans offensive and defensive scheme. So it should be a little bit more familiar, to D'Amico and the coaches. So I'm hoping that they plan ahead. I'm hoping Bobby Slowick. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm hoping Bobby Slowick. I think today's game you definitely have to establish a run against the Titans. I know, I
what
know. It's
what
hard to say.
what is the run? I've
Davis,
seen it all year.
Devin Singletary. That's it. That's all you got to use.
I
I
think
don't.
they need to game plan him a little bit more in the passing game. Also, I haven't seen a ton of
Mhm,
passes to him, and you're doing him a disservice by not utilizing that aspect of his game.
mhm.
Instead of trying to force the ball to Pierce, let's call him more passing plays to the running back. Get him out on the flat. Get him out on some wheel routes. Like let's get a little creative here. Like we
Yeah,
can't run the ball. Like you got to think outside the box sometimes, and you can't when the square peg isn't going to the circle. Maybe try something else. Just a
exactly.
thought.
Yeah. Hold on, let me write that down really quick. Yeah. No, for sure, dude. Like honestly, that's how I see it. You need to step, yeah, involve him in the passing game a little bit because I mean, at the end of the day, you're still missing a few receivers. You're missing Nico, you're missing how do you call it? Obviously Tank Dell for the season. You got to involve Devin Singletary a little bit in the pass game as well, man. Opens up the playbook just a little bit more. Do we expect to see much from John Mechie today or Hutchinson? What do you think?
I expect to see more from Hutchinson because when we went to training camp, we saw Case and him connect on a few plays. So they probably have a little bit more chemistry because they've been practicing a little bit more together. So I can probably see Hutchinson having more of an impact than Mechie today.
Okay, I see that. All right, so you see some Hutchinson today. Mechie, what do you think? Still not so much.
Hopefully he can make some plays. Like there's been some miscommunication. Hopefully they worked on that this week. We shall see. But and if he can turn it around and look like Alabama Mechie, we'll be in good shape.
The one of the biggest issues that the Texans had last week against the Jets was just getting some separation off those corners from the Jets. Now, keep in mind, the Jets secondary is like top 3, top 4 in the league. So yeah. I can see why it was a challenge for the receivers to actually get some separation going into this game. That's not. I don't. That's obviously not the case with Tennessee in the secondary. So I do expect to see more from Aiden Hutchinson. I do expect to see some more from John Mechie today too. Without
I would say watch out for Dalton Schultz. He should have a game today.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz
have pretty good connection as well.
Yeah, so that should be. Oh gosh, that should be what the positive going in for the offense today. Just taking care, getting some separation. I hope they saw enough film against the Jets and see, what they can do or whatever to fix that issue. But man,
well, basically, look at the film from last week. Do the opposite of that this week.
Exactly. We got a shout out right here from that's a cool name, Volcano. Says, "What's up, man? Titans fan from here. Sorry to hear that. No, I'm just kidding. No, thanks for joining us, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you for joining us, man. So we're coming into the final few minutes over here. We're leaving it at 11:30 so that you guys can again have enough time to get to your fantasy and fix up your players in case you haven't done that yet. So last 6 minutes, Rios, let's do our score predictions. Go ahead, Rios. Tell us what you think the score will be against the Titans today.
It's going to be a very low scoring game. I think both defenses are going to be aggressive and blitz these quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with Keenum's experience, you're going to see less mistakes from him than Will Levis.
Yeah,
man, it's going to be an ugly score. It's going to be like 10 to like 6.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't expect a whole lot from the offense, but as long as they can play mistake-free football and make key stops on defense, a win's a win. Doesn't matter how you get it.
Yeah.
Like Al Davis said, just win, baby.
Just win, baby. I'm gonna say now, and I'm doing this because every time I predict the Texans to lose, it goes well. So let's I'm gonna say Texans lose 17-15 today. I'm gonna take that score.
That's a very bizarre score.
All right. I was trying to keep it low, but not too high either. So I think we still get a few touchdowns here and there. I think Keenum can manage the game well enough to give us some touchdowns, but I'm going to say 17-15 in favor of the Titans. Just again for my record, I get my record for that. But other than that, I can see why. I can see a low scoring game, like you said, a lot of ugly throws, a lot of ugly mistakes. Probably some bad football today. Overall, I would say I'm not again as excited as I should be for this game. I'm really not.
And then again, we could be both wrong, and it'll be high scoring like last
week
was for the Jets.
Remember how we predicted the Jets game, and we totally different from that. What that was?
Yeah. Well, it was high scoring for them, not us.
Yeah, it was high scoring for them, but not us. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that should be an interesting game. But all right.
I think it helps having Fairbairn back because you can actually count on the guy to make
big time. That has been having Fairbairn back today. At least, hey, let's try to win this game of field goals. Yeah, no, but
that might be our game MVP right there.
There you go, game MVP. No, yeah, having Fairbairn back. God, what did he miss? Like 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? something like that.
It was like about 4 weeks.
4 games,
Oh
yeah.
God.
God, that was awful. I'm glad that they're not going to use
We should
Amendola
have
anymore.
kept Abumawale as kicker instead of Amendola.
At this point, because if you think there was like 2 games at least where I feel like if Amendola would have gotten it, one of them was we could have won that one. Yeah, exactly. So, Kaimi would have made it. That's why every time I see that business, Kaimi would have made it. You don't know what you got till it's gone, Rios, and that's Kaimi Fairbairn for us.
That hits right here,
right there, and he's accurately right here. Yeah. All right,
Amendola would be like way over here.
Yeah, Amendola would be like way over there. Yeah.
It goes backwards.
All right. Right, it's backwards. All right, brother. That's gonna be it for us. I think, yeah, like I said, you got our predictions. I feel like we covered just about everything that we needed to, at least for this game. They should have made the next game. It should be for the colors. Winner takes the colors back. Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna be it, y'all. See y'all tomorrow night, and of course, as always, we got a comment. Oh, never mind. Okay. Don't forget to spank that subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, guys. That's going to be it. See y'all later. Peace.